Hello, my name is Alexis Baltazar. Today I'll be talking about the Caddo language. The Caddo language is a Native American language, and I was interested in this language because I've seen videos about their music and dances and was more interested in their background and culture. Uh, the Caddo language right now is critically endangered with less than 25 speakers who reside in the Oklahoma area. These speakers are mostly elders, and the killer language for this language is English. Small background: the language. The Caddo people used to live in the Red River, along the Red River, which is in the central of the United States. They used to build these grass houses, which they planted the grass themselves. They also planted corn, squash, pumpkins, and other skills they had were making pottery and basket, which were mostly done by the women, which were known for their creativity. Some other stuff they did were hunting deer, buffalo, bear, raccoons, and turkeys. The main animal who lived in their territories were buffalo, and they were used for their skin to create clothing for them. Going to their language, the alphabet for the Caddo is similar to ours, with some differences with the way they pronounce them. A sample sentence for this Caddo language is Tuku has na ya hidina, which is translated to maybe someone will feed me. The Caddo sentences are broken into parts. Not every part has a word to it. Some of the parts are towards creating meaning to the other words. So in this sentence, Tuku has nauya hidina, which is maybe someone will feed me. The words which are in the sentence, it's only meal and eat. Those are the two only words in the sentence. The other parts of the sentence are used for giving meaning, like the first part, which is tuk. This is telling us there's a probable situation that's gonna happen. So the next part, the tukku, is telling us it is in first person. So maybe someone will fit me. So the will and maybe will be part of that. So that's the first part, and then there's the word meal, which is hasna, and the word eat, which is ya. So it's tukku hasna ya. That's the first part, which is telling us the probable situation. It is in first person. It's talking about a meal and eating or eat. And then the next part is the, which is correlates to the suffix, so the me. And then the last part is na, which is telling us it's in future tense. So the tuk was a probable situation, the ku was, it's telling us in first person, the has na is the meal, and the ya is eat, the din is the suffix, and the a is the future tense. So tuku has na ya di na. That's which and if you translate it literally into English, it will say maybe someone will cause me to eat a meal. That's if you translate it literal to English. Another example of this will be in the sentence haka a kin kamak a, and here it's also broken into parts. So the first part, the ha, is of the adjective. Oh yeah, and this is the sentence haka a kin kamak a is the translation to something deep. They say it was a water hole. So the ha was an adjective, and the ka a, it correlates to the word deep. And the so haka a, haka a adjective and then deep. And then the next part, which is keen, it's saying the past, so it'll be in the past. So something deep, they say it was, so the was. So and then the next part is the kam, so it's the word kam is correlated to the word liquid, and the word wak, it's mouth. So in the sentence will be haka kin kam mak, so mak will be wak, mouth, and the last part will be a ya a, which is saying be, being, so be. So in the sentence will say haka a kin kam mak a, which is telling us something deep, they say it was a water hole. So how does this become the sentence? Well, the liquid and mouth part are kind of, you can say, modifiers. So the kan, which is liquid, modifies the word wak, which is mouth, giving a meaning of a particular type of aperture in the Earth's surface, which is the water hole. So in the language Caddo, some of the parts of the sentence will give meaning to each other and change the meaning of the words. That's interesting. Some other sentences are, here's one that says hak si basa. So in the first part, it's saying ha, which is to the I. It can be correlated to the I of the translation, which is I see it, or I see him, or I see her. And another sample sentence would be haku ya bao nun, which starts the same with the ha, but in this sentence it translates to she or he, the first part, and then sees me often. So the way this changes is the middle part of the sentence for the first part, which is ha and then see, changes the I from he or she to the I, and then in the second sentence it's ha and then it's ku, which that changes the I to she or he. That's the way it changes there. Some of the revitalization efforts done for the Caddo languages by the woman called Elena Taglate, which is in Oklahoma. She's part of the revitalizationists there, and they work for the community to help restore the language. The work they do is they are trying to reinstate the intergenerational transmission of the Caddo language from the elders to the children, which was broken by the federal Indian policy of the United States in the form of boarding schools. So the goal of this revitalization is to make the Caddo language the medium which other cultural activities are showed to the children. So the main goal is to spread the language through teaching the adults and the children, and making the language a community-based language to be in the homes and community gatherings. The Caddo language revitalization efforts are kind of working. They're still in the first stages, so there's still time for it, and the approach is a slow increase in the language. So some ways it can maybe increase is the revitalization idea of the Elena Teclate is something I would also think, but maybe after having people learn the language, maybe send off them to different parts of the community, since the community of the Caddo is spread apart. So maybe send them to different communities so that the language can spread faster and efficiently. They could also since the community is spread apart, they have group of people learn the language, and then from there spread there, so it would be a larger group of people learning the language. Another thing they can do is, when there's a community gathering, they could teach the people the lyrics and the meaning of some of the Caddo songs, so that the people are more interested in the learning the language through the form of music. The importance to save this language is for the whole culture and traditions to be saved, and if not, the English will consume the young and they will lose their ancestors' intelligence they once had. Some consequences that could arise are maybe the revitalization efforts will not work, and the younger people will not be interested in learning the language, since it is a difficult language to learn, which the sentences are broken into different parts. So that could be a problem. Another problem could be that the language efforts might start working, but then people will lose more interest because it will be going against the English, which is the main language in Oklahoma. So maybe they will go against it. And some suggestions I would suggest are, as I said, maybe use other forms like music or dances for people to be more engaged into. That could help. That's it for me. Thank you for watching.